folks, Damien here from the Spanish Announce Table, and I'm going to do something a little bit different this time around. Just want to take a moment to talk about an aspect of wrestling that's sometimes seen as negative by many, but it is something that I do enjoy and I do like sort of looking at, and that's the unpredictability aspect. To the point where it reaches abject absurdity. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. I mean, I'm not so much talking about the attitude era craziness or the weird cartoony stuff that went on during the new generation. We'll get to that later on. I'll more than likely discuss that in another video or two. But when things that no one really expects to happen, you know, when various circumstances call for a quick solution, or when various people behind the scenes just give up altogether. Some of the best moments, or some of the moments that I've absolutely loved more than anything else, have come out of those type of situations. I mean, let's take what's happening now, for instance, as I want to talk about something in particular, a couple of things in particular. For this one, I'll hopefully expand on this in one or two videos in the future. So the current situation has obviously changed wrestling quite drastically in a short period of time, like it has the rest of existence, you know. Because of this, fans aren't present for live shows. So a new territory, unless you're the AWA and someone's got a turkey on a stick somewhere in the corner. I mean, obviously this has got its cons, but it has also got a few pros. So let's weigh them up. So there are no fans, so there's no ticket revenue, no one's buying merch or concessions. I mean, this is going to hit the WWE right in the pocket, and in the arenas as well, and live event companies that would be hosting and broadcasting these weekly shows. The pro for this, on the other side of the coin, is that the Performance Center is probably a lot cheaper than the arenas to run events at. And the performers aren't restricted by remaining in the sight of an audience. If there's a camera there, then everyone who's paid to see the show is seeing the show, because we're all watching from our respective screens. And from a fan's point of view, it's brilliant to be there and to be part of the shared experience, but it's got to be better than staring at someone who's filming half of it on their phone, or someone who has a ridiculously massive fancy dress wig on that's like a Marge Simpson wig that's cutting half your vision off. You know, and also the beer's cheaper, but that's, you know, that's a dodgy one. It's just one of these things. I mean, it's a new situation that everyone's currently learning how to do, and people are handling it in different ways. I mean, look at AEW. They're using other roster members around the side of the ring in certain, you know, it's giving us something else, you know. Each different presentation of this is bringing something different to the table. But yeah, there's I mean, again, on the downside, there's no organic fan response or any dynamic feedback, so we don't know who the fans are warming to, we're not sure who they're connecting with, except for online opinions. And well, you know what online opinions about wrestling are like, don't you? It's an absolute minefield. I mean, that said, I'm here making a YouTube video about one, so, about one that I have, so, you know, any objections, get out there and do the same, or tell us about it in the comments. You know, that's what they're there for. Pro for this is it's a perfect time to introduce some new stars. I mean, right now everyone's got a level playing field with no sort of shrinking window to appeal to fans or for them to make snap judgments, and pack mentality to kill momentum before it's even started growing. I mean, if someone new comes through the curtain and, you know, they've got a chance to make a chance to make a top-notch appearance, they're you know, they'll either interject themselves into a situation, or sort of have a brilliant match, or do something different, do something new. But there's not that collective short attention span that would normally see him booed out of the building before he's climbed into the ring. Unfortunately, there's also no crowd noise there, and the lack of atmosphere can sometimes hurt things. However, on the flip side of that one, you can hear wrestlers and referees interacting with each other, and the commentary team as well. There's something completely different about a wrestler kicking off at 10,000 people that can't hear properly and can't talk to individually, or indeed touch and get physical with, and someone kicking off with a commentator that they can hear, touch, and respond to. And it also seems to represent the voice of the company to the people. One sounds like a standard promo, the other one has a little bit extra. So you get where I'm going with this, yeah? So let's take Dexter Lumis for instance. In my opinion, and yep, there's that word again, his appearances on NXT since the fans have been absent have really, really benefited him. Uh, the silence of well, the absent crowd really accentuates his chilling presence and demeanour that's part of the persona that he has. And he's had time to establish himself without the risk of fans not giving his unorthodox atmosphere time to catch on before giving a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, personally, I think that, and this is nothing all against Dexter, who has been pretty much my favourite thing about Wednesday nights, both in this universe and at times his previous one, that he might not have gotten over as well with a live crowd in there, because all it takes is a small minority to not get him, and then that spreads. If you know what I mean, it seems to anyway. I mean, take the cinematic wrestling as it appears to have been dubbed. I say cinematic. The different presentation of wrestling that's been happening recently. You know, things like the Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse match, and the recent Money in the Bank match, or matches, or thing. I mean, when you're running a live wrestling event packed to the rafters with fans, and half an hour of the show is a main event on a big screen in a random location without the wrestlers that you paid to see setting foot in the same building as you, that's not really gonna pull that much of a big response. I mean, remember those old, like from bits of the old hardcore scene that was happening a little while ago, where we used to get "We Can't See" chants. If you're relying on relaying your main event to a screen in an arena that's built for live action happening in the middle, and you haven't got a screen, you haven't got the screens in the middle, or people can't see bits of the screens in the middle. I mean, have you ever tried watching a flat screen from a 25-degree angle? It doesn't look good, does it? I mean, obviously, practicality of seating arrangements aside, it you've also got the freedom to basically put time and energy into filming it, and generally digging around previously unexplored areas in the sandbox of wrestling. And yeah, that sounds pretentious, doesn't it? It sounds very pretentious, but it is a sandbox at the minute. You know, we've basically got a completely new situation. No one knows what they're doing. No one knows how to put something out there that's going to go down well. But you've got like things like, I mean, you've got time and energy to put into filming, editing, and just digging about, and you can either create masterpieces or general weirdness to the levels that WWE has. I mean, for me personally, the more bizarre, the better. The effect of taking us out of reality is kind of what I'm looking for in wrestling these days, and wrestling television these days. You know, don't get us wrong. I mean, I sure as hell don't want all wrestling to be like this. I don't want every single thing to look as bizarre as it was, as bizarre as the Firefly Funhouse match. But it's sort of in the same way that I don't really want to eat cake for every meal. But the odd slice now and again, when the mood's there, can just about hit the spot. So I'm going to do a couple of sort of case studies in amongst this, and talk about various other bits that were pretty much bizarre, and I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, and time and energy permitting, I'll hopefully try and get one of these out a week. Until then, stay safe. Do what you need to do to stay safe and protect yourself. You can find us at Announce Spanish on Facebook and Twitter, and we're on Twitch now as well. The channel's called Announce Spanish, and you can reach us via email, either studio@novaradio.co.uk for now, or you can reach us anytime at Spanish Announce Table at protonmail.com. And that's about the size of it. So we'll see you next time. Wednesdays 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Nova Radio Northeast 102.5 FM if you're on Tyneside, and at www.novaradio.co.uk if you're anywhere else in the world. You can get us on TuneIn apps and all that as well. Just search for Nova Radio Northeast. If you're on an Android phone, we've got our own app for that as well. Search for us in the Play Store, and do the old subscribe thing. Hit the bell somewhere. There's a bell somewhere about there-ish. Press it, then you'll find out when we release new videos, and we'll be going live here with the programs as well, so you can catch all the archive too. See you soon.